So we are going to start with just a really light warm-up, just to get the blood pumping a little bit. And then, like I said, this is core and mobility focused. So we're really just going to move through a long sequence of exercises here, looking to lengthen all the muscles. We've had quite a few workouts this week, so it's a good idea to sort of take a day to stretch everything back out and feel nice and limber and strong. Keep the jumping jacks going. Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Just a few high kicks here to stretch out the hamstrings. So every movement that we're working through here, just pay attention to posture and core. And anytime we are moving through a pose or an exercise that sort of requires that plank form or just that straight form and some movement, make sure that you're paying attention to the work coming from the core and not the hips. So we're getting that core workout in as well. One more each side. And then right into those knees to chest. So they squeeze in, open as wide as you can, and drop, and start thinking mobility right here, right? So you're drawing that knee up as close to the body as you can, stretching the glute right here, and then as wide of an arc as you can take it to open up the hips and just start moving the glute muscles through a full range of motion. And of course, drawing the core in, right, for a little bit of stability. Shoulders are down and back. Let's go one more each side. Let's see how far we can get into this before my dad's peanut butter Kong runs out. And right down to the mat. Go ahead and shake those legs out. Nice wide stance here. Arms up and out to the side, and just a gentle pull right to left. And again, we're thinking mobility. We're thinking length. Keep pulling it a little bit deeper into that pull. I'm just going to start us off here. And as you feel the torso sort of loosen up and lengthen, you can start to add that rotation of the wrist, the whole shoulder, twist. Take things nice and slow today. And again, turn your focus to the core and make sure you're getting that good core workout with each of these poses as well. Let's go one more reach through the center, up to the center, and into those toe touches. Take it nice and slow to start. Starting to take some deep breaths here, matching your breathing to the movement. Typically a breath in as you're pushing or sort of starting the movement off. Start to slow it down and sink that chest a little bit deeper in towards the leg, pushing the butt back out behind you, feeling that stretch all the way up the calf, through the hamstring, and upper thigh. Always squaring those hips off at the top. Let's go one more each side, a nice gentle hold with each touchdown. Drawing the chest towards the leg. Sink the chest in. Up to the top, square the hips. Last touch here. And up to the center. Go ahead and take a deep breath in. Reach for the ceiling, elongating the spine. Push the butt back behind you. Reach for the floor. Let your chest sink in towards the floor naturally. Feel that weight sort of add a little bit of a stretch. And then go ahead and walk those hands over to the right side. Drop down into that deep side lunge here. Right knee should be facing forward for the first time through. Toes on the left foot are also facing forward. Feeling that stretch through the inner thigh. When you're ready, go ahead and straighten that right leg up. Walk the hands over to the left side and sink into that deep lunge. And again, so we're going to move really slowly through these exercises, really trying to sort of sink into the stretches, hold those core forms. Go ahead and straighten that leg over to the right side one more time. This time, go ahead and let that toe drift up towards the ceiling, just shifting it around, feeling how that stretch moves across the leg. And we're going to be working straight through for about 30 minutes here. So if you ever need to take a break for some water, that's totally fine. Toes down, over to the left side. Sink that butt right down to your heel, and the toes on the right foot can now shift up and down as well. Again, just sort of experimenting with where that stretch is coming from. Go ahead and straighten both legs. Keep the toes nice and wide here. And just go ahead and roll those shoulders up to the ceiling to a nice standing position. And we're going to dive into a little bit of a torso stretch here. So let's start with that left arm raise up towards the ceiling. Right arm is going to track down the side of your leg into a sort of body weight windmill here. Shoulders and hips facing forward, just as low as you can take it. And then push right up towards the top. Right arm reaches for the ceiling. Left arm, hand tracks down the side of your leg, giving you a little bit of stability there, as low as you can take it. And then push right back up through the ceiling. Let's go one more each side. That left hand reaches up. And again, the right hand is going to track down towards the front side of the ankle. Left hand straight up towards the ceiling. Once you reach the depth of that stretch, push the left hand right back up through the ceiling. Last one here, right arm stretches. Shoulders and hips again facing forward, and then push that right hand right up through the ceiling. Go ahead and bring the legs together. Nice straight back, shoulders down and back, give them a roll there. And then we're just going to go into a body weight deadlift. Go ahead and link the hands, the fingertips under the toes. Drop the butt down into a squat. Straighten the legs back up into that deadlift, and we're just going to move between this sort of bottom of the deadlift form and the bottom of the squat form here. You should really feel the hamstring stretch. And what I want you to think about here is keeping those shoulder blades down and back, right? So the back stays nice and straight here. We're deep into that deadlift hold. Let's do one more, butt down, chest up. Straighten those legs, and then go ahead and roll those shoulders up to the ceiling one more time. Big shoulder rolls back behind you. Go ahead and step to the back side of the mat. We're going to inchworm our way out to a plank hold. Hands down. Walk your way out. Find that plank hold. Nice straight form for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I want you to use your core muscles here. So you're going to start with that active plank. We're just going to move into some toe touches. But again, this is where I'm talking about sort of using the core, not the hips. Taking it really nice and slow as you move through these reaches. We're going to spend as much time as possible just sort of reaching maximum mobility and length all the way through this workout. Come to the full plank and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Still holding. I want you to tap your knees to the ground. Back up into the plank. Leave the left palm on the mat and go ahead and open up to the right side. So this is a straight arm plank. Breathe, hold. And then that right hand comes back to the mat. Tap those knees down. Right hand stays on the mat and go ahead and open up to the left side. Again, you're going to reach that sort of straight line T, and we're just going to alternate back and forth here. Starting to really feel where those core muscles are coming into play. And down. Let's go one more each side. Knees tap down, up, and rotate. To the center, find that straight line. Knees tap down, up, and rotate. And then we're back to the center for another hold. Again, we're really looking to sort of wake up the core, and ask a little bit more of it. This is definitely a mobility-focused workout, but I want to make sure we get that core work in as well. Hold steady, butt comes down. Make sure those shoulders are stacked over the wrists. What we're going to transition to next are some deep lunges. You're going to step to the outside of your hand, and we're going to alternate sides. Just get that foot as far as you can up towards the outside of either hand. So let's start on the right. Step it forward. Transition some of the weight off of your shoulders and over to that foot, so you stretch into it. And then step back into that high plank, and you're going to step forward with the left foot. And you're going to sort of shift body weight onto that heel. Give the shoulders a little bit of a break and sink into that stretch. So we're sort of opening the hips here. Alternating sides, taking it nice and slow. And as we get sort of further into this particular movement, you should feel like your hips open up a little bit more. You're a little bit more comfortable with that step forward, so you can get a little bit further into that stretch. And again, none of this should ever hurt. You're not pushing into the stretch so that you're sort of feeling any pain. Just enough body weight to sort of reinforce the movement. Keep moving all the way through. Let's go one more each side here. Step in, shift that body weight to the heel. Step it back into that nice plank form. Left foot. And then you're going to step it back again. This time, what I want you to do is step that right foot in between your hands. So go ahead and step forward. If you need to take 2 steps, that's totally fine. And again, what I want you to do is shift some of that body weight onto the heel. You're going to feel the stretch, but you're also going to relieve some of the effort from the hands, wrists, and shoulders. Keep the left hand on the ground. Go ahead and raise that right hand all the way up to the ceiling. Rotate, open up. You're going to feel a big stretch in that right glute. Back to the mat. Take a deep breath in. Readjust if you need to. Again, left palm to the mat. Open up that right hand to the ceiling. Feel that stretch through the right glute. And then right back down to the mat. Let's go one more time. Left palm to the mat. Right hand raises up to the ceiling. Open that torso. Stretch. Feel the stretch in the glute. And then right back down. Go ahead and step that right foot back. And the left foot comes forward. Again, 2 steps to get there if you need to. This time, once the weight is on your heel, the right palm stays down. You're going to open that left hand up to the ceiling and rotate. Open the torso. Feel that stretch in the left side this time. And then back down to the mat. Readjust as needed. Right palm stays on the mat. Lift that left hand up. Open up the chest. And then right back down to the mat. Right palm stays down. Lift that left hand up. And relax. One more time. Right hand stays down. Left hand opens up. Stretch. Feeling those muscles twist. Back down to the mat. Keep the left foot where it is. Drop the right knee. So the right knee is down, the left foot is down. You're going to use your hands to tilt down into a 90-90. So here's what we're going to do. Fingertips on the mat. And just go ahead and gently lower that left hip to the mat. Take as much time as you need here. What you want to see when you're looking at your body. The front leg is at a 90-degree angle. The thighs sort of pointing straight out in front of you. The right leg, thighs pointing straight out to the side. Use your fingertips to adjust as you need to keep the hips and shoulders level. Go ahead and close your eyes if you're comfortable with it. Roll those shoulders back and just breathe out any tension that you're feeling in that left glute or hip. Deep breath in, slow exhale. We're going to shift direction, so just a complete 180. What we're going to do, again, fingertips on the ground. You're going to open up your hips to the right by pushing the left foot into the ground and lifting the right knee up. So everything just really slowly shifts. And if you can do it all the way through, you're going to find yourself in the same exact position. just an 180-degree turn, right? So now the right leg is in front, left leg out to the side, and again, close your eyes, breathe out tension that's sort of keeping you from sinking deeper into that stretch. Keeping the hips level and the shoulders level. You should sort of feel yourself sink a little bit deeper and deeper into that hold. To lift ourselves out of this, you're going to place your fingertips on the ground, and we're just going to sort of reverse direction the lowering of the hip. All we're going to do is you're going to press your right foot into the ground and your left knee, and lift yourself up. You shift a little bit. Hands to the mat. Go ahead and step it out. And we're going to hold. I want us to find that core strength one more time here. I'm just going to turn it around so I can see my time. All right, so butt down, belly button's pulled in towards the spine. Nice straight lines here, all the way down your spine and across your shoulders. Sort of really, really draw your mind, all of your thoughts towards your core, towards your strength and your control. Hold steady. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently drop the knees to the mat. So we're on all fours here. I just want you to take a sec to stretch that neck out back and forth, reaching the ear towards the shoulder, dropping it forward. Just want to loosen it up so any tension can sort of be exhaled out. Now, nice straight back, tuck that tailbone, and we're just going to reach away from the body, alternating sides with the arms. As you reach up and away, you're really pulling those fingertips as far as you can. Palms turn in. And what I want you thinking about here is squeezing the core, that same focus that you had in the plank where it was absolutely required. I want you to have that same focus here as we move through this kneeling sequence. We're going to move into a full bird dog. We're going to start with the right hand left side in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Full bird dog here. So the right hand stretches, the left leg stretches again as far as you can take it without arching. And then draw the knee to the elbow to meet at the belly button. Stretch it out. We're sticking with one side here. This is why I wanted you to focus on the core so much, because what's really required now, you have to find that center of gravity, reach, and contract. 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch sides. Left hand, right leg. Hold. And then bring everything to meet at the center of your belly button. Keeping back nice and straight, abs pulled in. Reach. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hands to the mat, knees to the mat, right side only. We're going for a glute kickback. Keep that 90-degree bend in the leg. Go ahead and flex that foot. We're going to do a little work on the right side here. So again, keeping the back nice and straight so the hips and shoulders remain facing towards the mat. Flexing that right foot, so draw your toes in towards the shin. Get ready to shift into a fire hydrant. So same movement, same bend in the leg, just up to the side. Here we go, up to the side and back to the center. That last little lift at the top comes from the glute, not from an arch in the back and not from opening up the torso. We're going to add in a hip rotation here in about 10 seconds. So you're going to do the fire hydrant, you're going to lift to the top of that movement, keep the knee nice and high, and just rotate the hip so you're at the top of the glute kickback. So here we go. We're going to lift all the way up to the side. Knee stays high. Rotate that hip, that knee back behind you, and then knee to the mat. Again, lift up to the side. Rotate that hip and bring it down. It's going to be nice and slow, which is all your muscles want right now. and bring it in. Couple more reps here, then we're going to switch to glute kickbacks on the left side. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Glute kickbacks, left side only. So that 90-degree bend and kick shifts over to the left side. Right leg now becomes the stabilizer. A good time here to pay attention to the core. Is your back straight? Is your belly button sort of pulled in to tighten those muscles? Get ready to move this to the side in 3, 2, and 1. Lift up to the side and right back down. Up. Again, keeping the shoulders and the hips facing towards the mat. Lift and down. All the way through it here. About 10 seconds to go. We're going to add in that hip rotation. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lift. Keep the knee nice and high. Rotate, and then drop that knee back down to the mat. Smooth movements here. Both sides of your butt should be feeling this at this point. The stabilizer side and the moving side. Keep the lower back nice and straight. So it's the glute taking the brunt of the work. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Knees to the mat. I'm going to have you go down to the forearms. Step it out into a full plank. And hold. Nice and steady here. Keep that butt low. Again, sort of waking up that core, understanding where that movement is coming from. Hold steady. Go ahead and gently drop your knees to the mat, palms on the mat, and push your body weight back into a child's pose. Just a quick stretch here. If anybody's dying for some water, now is a good time to grab it. This is about our halfway point. Deep breath in. Exhale, tension. Let go of any thoughts that are anywhere but right here in this workout. All right, go ahead and pull the body forward. We're going to move through a little bit of a cat-cow pose here, so take a deep breath in, round back up to the ceiling and tuck the chin. And then exhale, tilt the pelvic bone forward, lift the chest, and push the belly button in towards the mat. Again. Let's go one more time through each breath pattern. And then you're going to go ahead and come to neutral here. And what I want you to do from this position is we're going to do those alternating lunges again. So you're going to bring the right foot up and forward towards the hand, a little bit closer to your body this time, and just a gentle push forward. Knee goes back to the mat, left side, step it forward. Left knee back to the mat. Let's go one more each side. Step it out. Left side, gentle body weight push forward. And then knee back to the mat. Go ahead and step it out into that high plank. Let's find that core again. And hold steady. I want you to tuck the tailbone down. If you feel any sort of roundness in the back, just sort of start to move those muscles around. Adjust. Use the screen if you want to adjust your positioning and find that really nice straight back. Holding tight here. This is a long hold. We have 10 seconds to go. And then I want you to bring the knees back to the mat. That's in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Knees down. We're going to start on the right side. We're going to start with that fire hydrant to arc. So lift up to the side. Arc that knee, rotate the hip back behind you and drop back down to the mat. Up to the side. Knee rotates back behind you and down to the mat. So, not much time for these glutes to recover. They're already fatigued here, and we're just moving all the way through, pushing them a little bit more core. Includes glutes. Glutes are a big piece of that puzzle, that stability, that balance, that power. So we're going to work it here. Rotate and bring it in. All the way through. We're going to move into a simple kickback with flexed foot in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Just the kickback on the right side. Kick it back and draw it in. Flexed foot. Just asking for one final little push from this right side. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Left side. We're going up to the fire hydrant. Hip rotation and down to the mat. Fire hydrant, hip rotation, and down to the mat. Keeping that back nice and straight. Make sure that your shoulders are stacked over your wrists here so that there's no sort of angle in the arm, no undue stress on those wrists. Keep it tight, keep it moving. Getting ready here for our last little pulse out on the left side. 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and glute kickbacks left side only. Get back, take it nice and slow. Yes. We're going to get one last tiny break here in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and sit back on those heels. Again, stretch everything out. I want you to sort of loosen the tension on the wrists. Roll them around if you need to. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Sort of regroup. Draw your thoughts back into the workout. All right, and when you're ready, go ahead and pull the shoulders back up over the wrists. We're going to go back into bird dogs here. Let's start left hand, right foot. Here we go. Stretch it all the way out. Keep the back nice and straight, and then draw in towards the belly button. Stretch it out. Again, finding that center of gravity. Asking a little bit more of the core here. So it's not just about the length. It's about the control and the stability. Feeling that glute this time. All the way through. 3, 2, and 1. Switch sides. And draw it in. Stretch. And draw it in. All the way through here. Keeping that back nice and straight. The belly button pulls in towards the spine. Just a few more reps to go. Stretch and contract. Last one here. Stretch and contract. Draw it in. We're going to step it out into high plank. Here we go. And hold. Again, those shoulders directly above the shoulders so there's no odd angles or stress on the wrists. I just say shoulders above the shoulders, shoulders above the wrists. That would be easier. Hold tight. All right, what we're going to do is you're going to start with a step forward in between your hands with the right foot. Take 2 steps if you need to, and shift some of that body weight onto that right heel, Keep the left palm on the ground. Open that right arm and torso up to the ceiling. Stretch. Feel that pull in the glute. And then back down to the mat. Again, the weight right over the heel. Again, left palm stays on the mat. Open that right side up. Back to the mat. Breathing gently here. Open up. Come back to the mat. Let's go one more time here. Open it all the way up. Reach for that ceiling. Find that straight line T. Stretch through the glute. Back down to the mat. Step that right foot out into high plank. Left foot comes forward. Again, shifting your body weight onto that left heel. Right hand stays on the mat. Open us to the left side. Back down to the mat. Readjust if you need to. Right hand stays on the mat. Open. And back. And you're really just letting your body sort of move through this stretch. Nice and gently open. You should be a little bit more flexible, a little bit more sort of able to move through a fuller range of motion this time through. But your muscles are also more tired than they were the first time. So you're having to work a little bit harder for each of these holds. And down, let's go one more time. Open it up. Back down to the mat. Go ahead and drop that back knee to the mat nice and gently. We're going to move back into that 90-90. So use your fingertips to stabilize. Lower your body so the left hip approaches the mat. And we're back in that 90-90. So that left leg is straight out in front. Adjust. If you feel comfortable with it this time through, go ahead and lift those fingertips up off of the mat. As long as you can stabilize the hips and the shoulders and keep them nice and level. Close those eyes, draw those shoulders down and back, and just let yourself sink into this stretch, breathing out tension, loosening the sort of tight grip, that tight hold that's happening with the glute. Nice straight back. Tailbones tucked under so the belly button is pulled in. Ballerina posture here. We're going to rotate 180 degrees, so fingertips back to the mat. You're going to press the left foot into the mat. Lift the right knee. Open up. And rotate all the way 180 degrees here. And again, adjust as you need to. And then if you feel comfortable with it, if you feel like you have the core strength to sort of keep the hips and shoulders stabilized, go ahead and let the fingertips come up off the mat. Rest on your legs. Close the eyes and just release the tension. Deep breath in, long, slow exhale. We have a bit of a hold here. Nicely done. So we're going to come back up into a half kneeling position. So fingertips back to the mat. And you're just going to lift that right hip up and press your right foot into the mat. You're going to have to adjust a little bit. You're in a half kneeling position. Go ahead and step it back out into that high plank. And let's hold. We're getting closer and closer. At this point, your body should have had enough time in that 90-90 to sort of collect itself. Shoulders aren't feeling it quite as much. We're going to move into that alternating deep lunge. And this should be a little bit easier than the first time through. That's coming in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Right foot steps forward. Sink your weight into that right heel. And then step it back into high plank position. And step forward with the left. And try to shift most of your weight onto that heel, away from the wrists. And it just adds to that natural push forward. Don't forget about that core strength. Keep your butt low, your back nice and straight from the base of your neck all the way down the tailbone and to the heels. Body's getting a little bit tired here, so the transitions might be harder, but you also should be feeling a little bit more length in those muscles, a little bit easier to move one to the next. One last step out each side. Step it out into high plank, and I just want you to go down, down into a forearm plank position. We'll give those shoulders a little bit of a break. We're going to hold. And then what I want you to do is drop the hips to the mat, lift the chest and chin into a half cobra. Stretch through it. And then using your core, I want you to draw back up to that forearm plank and all the way up into dolphin. So pushing those hips up and back towards the ceiling. And again, drop forward to cobra. And this is all about the core. This is not about the hips. You have control over where this movement comes from. So as much as possible, we're moving from cobra to dolphin with that active plank, with that core strength. All the way through. Yes, nice. Let's go one more time through each pose and then come back to that forearm plank at the center of the movement. And we're going to hold. Just a quick hold here. You should be really feeling that core by now. That's where we want to finish this up. Go ahead and up into a high plank position. Brief hold. And then again, active plank, I want you to walk your hands back towards your toes, but using the core muscles to pull you up. Once you reach the toes, you're going to pause. Let the chest sink down. I want you to link the fingertips under the toes, so we're back in that sort of bottom part of the Romanian deadlift. Bend at the knees, lift the chest up into that deep squat. Straighten the legs, chest down into the bottom part of that deadlift. Again, bend at the knees, lift the chest. Stretch those hamstrings out one more time by straightening the legs. And go ahead and hold. You can relax. Again, close your eyes here. Let the body sink into this stretch. As you exhale, breathe out tension in the shoulders, the neck, the jaw. Really nice and slowly here. Roll those shoulders up towards the ceiling. Big shoulder rolls back behind you. 3, 2, and 1. Keep those eyes closed. One last deep breath in. Exhale. And go ahead and relax. You guys, nice workout. Let's pause this so it doesn't yell at us anymore.